Hello friends and welcome. So it is going to be 115 degrees in Walla Walla today. I'm going to try to get this 2 videos posted for cooling, and I'm going to try to make them short and accessible so that hopefully you can do them maybe a couple of times, maybe once in the morning and once at night before you go to bed for this the physical practice. And then the breath, do that as much as you can remember and think about throughout the class. The breath will be a separate video. But that said, we are going to start in child's pose. So, you know, with this heat, we want to bring about the opposite. We want to bring cooling. So that's my intention with this practice. And we're going to move towards a Chaundra Namaskara, a Moon Salutation, which is considered cooling in the yoga world. So your forearms can come down for this first bit. Forehead down. If the forehead doesn't make it comfortably to the floor, please bring the floor up to the forehead with a block or your fists. Hips sink down towards the heels. Shins and tops of feet where your shoelaces would be, they sink down to the ground. Whatever you have in contact with the ground right now, go ahead and take just a few moments and feel that contact. I like to think of an energetic exchange, even if I'm 3 floors, 10 floors up in the air, that I'm having with Mother Earth. Right? I send energy down into her, but she also sends energy up into me. Now go ahead and straighten those arms out. You can go as wide as your mat if you'd like to, if the shoulders are tight. As you push down into your palms and your finger pads, those elbows and forearms lifting up. Take another breath here and just start to lengthen the spine. You know, you've got that move where if you push forward, your hips move back and you get that beautiful length. Inhale up and pause. Leave your wrists in front of your shoulders for this version today. Bring the knees in a little bit. Separate the feet out a little bit. And we're going to kind of break down a couple of component pieces of this Moon Salutation, and then we'll try to put it all together. Inhale, reach the sternum forward, away from the pubic bone, aka cow. Exhale back into child's pose. Inhale forward into cow, sternum away from pubic bone. Exhale back, downward dog. Now when we want to cool down, we also want to get away from competitive and striving. Bring the knees down. Inhale, reach that chest forward. Exhale, sit back. We're going to do a little add-on from child's pose. Drag your hands back towards you. Come up into a kneeling position or lift the buttocks, I could say. Inhale, reach the arms up, either shoulder distance, maybe palms touch, chest lifts, gaze reaches up. And then we exhale, we all come back down into child's pose. Balasana. Inhale up into your cow. That's when we're hands and knees, sternum away from pubic bone. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Knees down. Inhale, reach the chest forward, cow. Exhale back, child's. Inhale, kneeling, bringing the arms back and then out and up, reaching above the head. Exhaling back down into child's pose. Inhale into cow, hands and knees, chest forward. Exhale back. This time we're going to hold our downward dog and stay here for just a moment. So each time we come into one of these poses, you know, especially a pose like downward dog, I think is more accessible to kind of pay attention to it, but hopefully we start to change just bits and pieces, right? Maybe you'll notice your heels drop closer to the earth or your hamstrings feel more open. If your shoulders are in your ears, maybe you can start to find that freedom in the neck by rotating the triceps, right? Playing with all that stuff. Inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to walk our feet forward to the front of our mat. If you need to come in a different way, come out, I should say, please do. You'll be at the top of your mat in Uttanasana, a forward fold. Bend the knees a little bit, grab the elbow points, take a full breath here, soften the neck and the shoulders. Put your other forearm in front, take another breath. Now this is another part of this Chaundra Namaskara.
right? Come into your forward fold. If you want to straighten the legs a little bit, you can. You certainly don't have to. We're going to try and do a deep squat. Stay higher with the buttocks if it's not right for you. Otherwise, if you can drop the buttocks towards the heels and reach the arms and the head up, and then exhale, moving back into your forward fold. Again, inhale, sinking the buttocks towards the heels, reaching the chest and the gaze a little forward and up. And exhale, forward fold. Reach the arms out. Hands could always go on the hips, of course, coming all the way up. Hands can be shoulder distance, or maybe they come and reach, reaching up to the ceiling. And exhale, bringing those arms out and down, and pause. So just pointing out, when we go into our lunges today, when we bring the arms out and up, you do have the option to bring the hands together. Keep those inner shoulders soft, right? So that they're not so aggressive. And then it is kind of that crescent shape of the moon, right? As my fingertips reach up, I'm not just throwing my body back, but I'm opening my chest, and it moves me into my crescent, yeah? Okay. So standing at the top of the mat, let's start to combine some things. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. Again, if you want to keep your hands shoulder distance, please do. Exhale, folding in. You don't have to look like me. Don't be competitive. Don't strive like that today. Inhale, squatting low. Head lifts up, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the air out. Step the left foot back. Bring the left knee down. Uncurl the toes. Inhale into a low lunge. Maybe hands come together and you get that crescent shape today. Exhale, hands down, and we step back to downward facing dog. One full breath. Inhale and exhale. Bring the knees down. Inhale forward into cow. Exhale back. Child's. Inhale, kneeling position. Arms reach over, maybe in that little baby crescent shape. Exhale back, down into child's. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward dog. When all the air is out, at the end of the exhale, hold it out. Step the left foot forward, bring the right knee down. Inhale up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down, and we step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, squat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out, coming up. Exhale, arms down, pause, take one full breath, maybe eyes closed, finding balance. If you need a break at any point in time, you take it, right? So now we're going to go in and we're going to do the other half of that, right, where we step the right foot back first. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. Exhale and fold. No striving. Inhale, reaching that chest forward, cooling. Oh, it's supposed to be sitting in a squat. Oops. Exhale and fold forward. When all the air is out, step the right foot back, bring the right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands coming down, stepping back to downward dog. This time we're coming right down on the inhale. Knees down, inhaling into cow. Exhaling back to child's. Kneeling, reaching the arms overhead on the inhale. Exhale back into child's. Inhale, cow. Exhale, dog. When all that air is out, hold it out. Step the right foot forward. Bring the left knee down. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hands come down. We step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, squat. I remembered this time. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up.
Exhale, bring those arms down, pause. Close the eyes, find balance. Let's take an inhale through the nose. And exhale, side out of the mouth. One more just like that. Release some body heat. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out of the mouth. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to step out to the side, the long edge of our mat. Whatever way you want to go is fine. If you know that you're tight in that inner line of the hamstrings, right, what I often refer to as inner groin, because there's a couple of different muscles through there, but usually the hamstrings are what prevent us in this one. You can put a block by your right foot, yeah, and you can work with, well, you can put one on both feet, and then just there you don't have to move the block. So we're going to do a version of twisted triangle, Parivrita Trikonasana. For this one, our toes stay forward, right? We inhale the arms out wide. And then when you exhale, bend that right knee as deeply as you need to bring your left hand down to your foot or on the block next to it or on finger pads, right? Now with an inhale, you're going to move into the rotation, but you're going to turn your head down and look down. Soften your shoulders away from your ears, and then on your exhale, turn and look up and push the outer left foot down so you get a little deeper into your revolve, right? And then inhale, coming back up. I'll break the first one down quite a bit. Exhale, bending left knee, hand on block or on foot. Inhale, turn and look down, but rotate your chest up, yeah? And then shoulders away from ears. Maybe turn and look up and push your outer right foot down to get a little deeper in the twist. Inhale, up. Try to keep going this slow. You'll notice I've been slowing the breath down as we move, yeah? That's cooling. Exhale, right knee bends, hand comes down. Inhale, shoulders away from ears, look down and rotate. Exhale, look up, push outer left foot down. Inhale, up. Bend left knee, right hand on, near the foot, the block. Turn and look down, shoulders away from ears, rotate. Push outer right foot down as you turn and look up, deepen the twist. Inhale, up. I'll be here to see if you need to, but otherwise do one more of those on your own breath. Exhale down. I'll give short cues. Inhale, look down, rotate. Exhale, look up, opposite foot down. Inhale, so you're not doing it all on your own. Exhale, bend left knee. This might be newer to some of you, so I just want to break it down in case it is, so you're not like looking at the screen. Shoulders away from ears, look down. Push left foot down, maybe turn and look up. And inhale, arms back up. And this time, hands on hips, elbows back. Go ahead and bend the knees a little, fold in. Inhale, chest forward, and then go ahead and exhale, folding in any amount. For any of my friends who have the ability to get the head down to a block or a blanket, remember you have 3 heights on that block, right? You could go a little wider with the feet, but don't go too wide. We don't want to stress the legs out to try to make this happen, right? But if you can ground through preferably the crown of the head, but you could take that hairline. That's what I do because I have a reverse cervical curve. So in order to treat my neck well, right, that's my position personally. So go ahead and find out if you can make that happen. And for my tight inner groin friends, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just hang the head, soften. Take another 2 breaths. Inhale. Forward folds are very cooling. So even sitting at your desk while you're working, you could simply bring your forehead down to the desk or your hands, right, with your forearms on top of each other and just rest in a forward fold for a couple of breaths to cool down. You could put your buttocks against a wall and fold in. Straighten your arms, hands on your shoulders. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Go ahead and bend the knees, hands on the hips, and come all the way up. Bring those feet back together again. And then we've got one more move here, all the way down on the ground. We'll rest for just a moment, and then we'll come up. Have a block handy. If you don't have a block, you can still do this. It won't be quite as effective as an inversion. If you're like, but I don't have a block, but you've got a couple of blankets or a pillow, you could use those. Come on down. You'll notice I'm not even coaching you through much core today, right? Feet on the ground. You're going to lift your hips and bring that block. I would say probably medium or low. Again, we don't want to get into that striving mode of like, I've got to be on high. High is where it's the best because then I look really good, or then I'm in the
deepest position, you know, whatever that might be. Let it go. I'm on low. I can do high. I don't need that right now. That's not going to help me cool down and get out of my competitive, driven, irritated self, right? And so rock those shoulders underneath you just a little bit. That's my tendency. That's what I want to do. That's what I actually did the first time I did this pose, this summer heat coming into it. And I was like, what are you doing, girl? And then maybe the legs reach up. My tight hamstring friends, you might simply bend your knees and let your heels come towards your buttocks. So right now my heels are above my hips and my hips are above my heart, right? So I am in an inversion. Inversions are considered cooling, and this is I'm going to call it a modified version. It's a supported shoulder stand, but it's a modified version of what ultimately becomes, right, the queen of all asanas. She's called Salamba Sarvangasana, which is shoulder stand. With my reverse cervical curve, I don't really do that very often anymore. I do it with blankets and supports, right? But not as much. And so this is a way that I can still get into it without hurting my neck. And I get those beautiful benefits, the cooling, the lymphatic fluid drainage, the organs moving into my diaphragm so that my diaphragm actually has to work and can strengthen to push my organs towards my pelvic floor on each inhale. My circulatory system has to work differently normally, right? It's really easy to get that blood to move down out of the heart and down to those other parts of the body, but it has to work to pump it up, and now we've reversed that. Let's take about 2 more breaths here, if it's available, right? I keep a slight opening in the chest and a soft neck, a soft jaw. And then go ahead and bring one foot down and then the other. Pause, take a breath, inhale, and exhale. On your next inhale, lift the hips, remove the block, go ahead and roll the body down. And just for about 1 minute, we won't be here long, let's either lean the knees in or extend the legs. They're both wonderful. Right? I lifted my hips and I move my shoulders out a little bit. I kind of find after I do any kind of like a bridge or supported bridge, I readjust slightly so I'm not overly back bending. If you have a breeze blowing on you, you're in AC, you have a fan, right? Concentrate on that cool factor. Feel the cool against your skin. If you do not have that, you might work with just the visualization. You know, for me, one of my biggest cooling factors that I can do is I can start to visualize that I'm in a cool body of water. And believe it or not, they've done studies. Visualization is way more powerful than we even know and understand, and we're just starting to find out more about that with research that's happening. But you can literally drop the temperature of your body by imagining yourself in a cool environment. And if you need any little movement or stretches before you come up, please take those. And then she says with the yawn, and then come on up to a seated posture when you're ready. Seated or kneeling, I should say upright. I've been trying to call this recently. It's funny when you have a term or a way of teaching, being, right, that you've been doing for years. Boy, whew. Changing that's difficult sometimes. Nice and tall. Bringing those hands together in front of the chest, inhale. Exhale, bow the head.
and just being grateful for at least one thing. You know, we all have our times where we struggle, and I have other times with other emotional and life things that come up, but during the heat I have I get grumpy, so gratitude practice is a huge part of moving myself gracefully through heat. We'll say it that way. Namaste, friends. So again, I'm hoping that I made this short enough that you can maybe think about doing this in the morning and maybe then again at night if it's a useful tool for you. I find this to be super effective and wonderful for me. And I mean, I even sometimes throw it in the middle of the day, just do like one where my left foot steps back and then my right, you know, one little thing once you get the pattern down of Chaundra Namaskara, Moon Salutation. And I find it very effective to just help cool me down. I also use it when I get really irritable and pissed without the, you know, the summer heat. Like, it's a great practice for that too. Be well, stay cool, friends. Hydrate, all the business. Stay out of the sun if you can. Wear hats, right? You might consider wearing cooling colors today and through this week. Blues and greens, says the girl in all black. I know it's what I wore yesterday. Don't ask me why. I don't have a lot of blues and greens is what I've discovered. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.